If you're over 60 and you're dealing with that relentless shooting sciatic pain, does it ever feel like you're just missing a piece of the puzzle? Well, what if I told you the answer wasn't in another prescription bottle, but it might just be hiding in your kitchen pantry? Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating, natural approach that could honestly change everything for you.
So let's just get right to the heart of the mystery, shall we? Have you ever wondered this? You get the MRI back. The doctor points to a spot and says, "There's the compression." But your pain is a screaming 9 out of 10. Meanwhile, your neighbor with the exact same report is out playing golf. What is going on there? It just doesn't seem to add up.
You know, if this quote right here hits home for you, you know exactly what we're talking about. This isn't just some minor ache or pain. It is a force that completely disrupts your life. And really understanding that feeling, that deep, frustrating pain, is the first step to finally understanding the solution.
Okay, so to solve this sciatica mystery, we need to dig a little deeper than the standard explanation you've probably already heard. We're going to look at what's really happening on a biological level, right inside your body.
Now, the thing about the sciatic nerve is its sheer size. I mean, just think about this. It is the longest and widest nerve in your entire body. It's like a superhighway running from your lower back through your hip and all the way down to your foot. So you can imagine, when that superhighway gets irritated, it has a very long way to shout about it.
Right. So your doctor has probably pointed to one of these usual suspects on your chart: a herniated disc, maybe some spinal stenosis, which is just a narrowing of the spinal canal, or even a tight little muscle deep in your glutes called the piriformis. And look, yes, these are absolutely real structural issues, but they are not the whole story, not even close.
And this is where we get to the crucial turning point. The real reason your pain might be so severe, so persistent, it isn't just about the physical compression. It's about something else entirely.
This one concept could change everything for you. Think of the physical pressure on the nerve as just the spark. The size of the fire that spark creates, well, that depends entirely on the environment around the nerve. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. We're all taught to think that pain equals compression. Simple, right? But the deeper truth, the real equation, is that pain equals compression plus inflammation. It's the inflammation that acts like gasoline on a fire, turning what might be a modest compression into a raging, catastrophic pain experience.
So, if inflammation is the real enemy here, the real villain in our story, how do we fight it? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. And like I said, there's a good chance it's already sitting in your kitchen.
And here it is, the walnut. And I mean specifically the walnut, not just any nut. Why? Because it has this unique profile, this team of compounds that work together to target the precise kind of inflammation that makes that sciatic nerve so incredibly sensitive. So you're probably asking, how in the world can one simple food have such a powerful impact? Well, let's break it down. We're going to look at the 5 distinct biological ways a walnut goes to work to fight your pain.
So here's the game plan. First, walnuts help cool that inflammatory fire. Then they go in and flip the body's master inflammation switch to off. After that, they help calm the entire nervous system down, protect the nerve's insulation, its wiring, and finally, they help modulate the pain signal itself. Let's take a look at each one.
First up, cooling the fire. This is all about the power of a very specific and very healthy type of fat.
Okay, so inside your body, you have these pathways that create pro-pain compounds. But the special omega-3s in walnuts, they actually compete with those compounds. It's like they jump in and block the machinery, which means fewer pro-pain signals get produced. It's actually a similar mechanism to how drugs like ibuprofen work, but this is happening naturally, right at the source.
Now for number 2, think of your body's inflammation response like a master switch on a control panel. There's this thing called NF-kappa B, and when it gets flipped on, it tells your whole system to launch a massive inflammatory attack. What's incredible is that compounds your body makes from walnuts, called urolithins, can go in there and help turn that master switch off, dialing down the entire inflammatory storm right at the nerve.
You ever feel that awful shooting, electric pain where even the sheet brushing against your leg is excruciating? That's often something called central sensitization. It means your whole nervous system is just stuck in overdrive. Well, the magnesium in walnuts acts like a calm, steady gatekeeper on your nerve receptors, helping to block them from getting overexcited and calming that hypersensitivity down. Your sciatic nerve is basically like an electrical wire. and it has this protective insulation around it called the myelin sheath. Inflammation chews away at this insulation, causing those erratic, weird signals like tingling and numbness. The specific type of vitamin E found in walnuts acts like a protective coating, literally shielding that insulation from damage.
Now this one is really fascinating. Most of us just think of melatonin for sleep, right? But it turns out research shows it also plays a direct role in managing pain. The melatonin you get from walnuts works right at the spinal cord, where pain signals are first processed, and it helps to turn down the volume on the signals coming from that irritated sciatic nerve.
So, the science is pretty cool, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let me tell you about a woman named Sandra.
Sandra's story is one I hear all the time. She was 64, in terrible pain every single day for 18 months, and she was on the verge of scheduling surgery. But here's the thing. Her MRI was described as only having a modest herniation. Her massive pain level and her scan just didn't line up. Her real problem wasn't just the compression, it was runaway inflammation.
So we put her on the protocol, and these results just speak for themselves. After 6 months of consistently following it, her pain was down by about 40%. She was able to successfully taper off her nerve pain medication, and surgery? Completely off the table. The herniation was still there, but by changing the inflammatory environment around it, we changed her entire experience of pain.
So how can you actually put this into practice? Let's get into the complete practical protocol that you can literally start using tomorrow morning.
All right, here it is. The absolute cornerstone is 1 ounce of walnuts every single day. But we're going to combine that with alternating cold and heat on your lower back, a gentle daily piriformis stretch, and short, consistent walks to just keep that nerve mobile and happy. It's a full-on attack against both the inflammation and the mechanics. Now, when it comes to the walnuts, the details really matter. So here's what you need to remember. 1 ounce a day, that's about 7 whole walnuts, so it's not a lot. They absolutely have to be raw or dry roasted. Never get the ones roasted in oil because that can damage the beneficial fats we need. Store them in an airtight container in the fridge to keep them from going bad. And maybe most importantly, be patient. This is not an overnight magic pill. You have to give it a minimum of 3 months to really let those powerful nutrients build up in your system and do their work. Just think about it this way. Your sciatic nerve isn't just a source of pain. It's a living part of you that has been fighting a brutal battle against inflammation day in and day out. The only question is, are you giving it the tools it needs to win that fight? Starting tomorrow morning, you can.